In today's video, I will be taking the new Chinese-funded express train all the way from Kunming to the landlocked communist jungle nation of Laos to the border with Thailand. So join me as I drink a beer, crash a motorbike, not in that order, visit the most inappropriately funded landmark in all of Asia, and more on my journey from Southeast Asia. Good morning from Kunming, China. Bright and early, 6 a.m. The train to Laos.
I slept for 2 hours last night, so we're off to a pretty rough start. Luckily, Chinese railway stations are really more like airports, so we should be able to get anything we need on the way.
Need to know the Chinese word for Laos. So I got our tickets, fill out some arrival cards. All of these train stations in China are really just an airport, functionally. Oh, I'm so tired I forgot to buy alcohol for the train. Maybe I'll check another store. But there it is. The sun is rising. And I am exhausted still. I mean, these train stations are massive.
Massive is an understatement. Some will have multiple KFCs facing each other from opposite platforms.
Alright, it's time to go. People are finally boarding. We need carriage 8. There's so much noise pollution here. We're at the front of the train. Actually, maybe this is the back of the train. First class. Look at us. It's funny, got really unlucky. Got a seat with no window, the only one with no window. And then on top of that, theirs is broken. I'm trying to get it up this whole time and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, so much for first class.
God, it's so bright. That works pretty well, actually.
The train staff was, thankfully, kind enough to let us escape the sad windowless seat, only for us to sit in darkness once more as the train passes through so many kilometers of tunnels.
Overall, it's really uneventful. It's very quiet. I said there was supposed to be outlets online. There is not. It is what it is.
I did end up checking out the restaurant car, although it was just instant noodles and dried tofu, so yeah, maybe not. After an hour or so, we reached the Chinese and Laotian border.
So I have to do some kind of check again.
First thing that we're met with is a sign restricting the importation of bear bile powder. I don't think that one applies to me.
Unlike some countries, they don't have immigration step on. You have to get off, change the train. Well, it's the same train, but functionally change it. Wait in another line, get checked out, get stamped in, go through immigration properly, and then meet the train at the other side. And it's just completely overfilled with Chinese tour group. There's a bunch of matching hats, different ways to identify the masses. And it looks like we're gonna have to do this all over again, a second time. Get on the train, spend 10 minutes on it, get off, and then check out, check in. Been on the train for a few minutes and we're already stopping to unload again. There it is.
When checking into Laos, the staff were very concerned with this New Year's chip tube that we, for some reason, very inconveniently decided to bring with us across the border. I think it looked like a pipe bomb.
We're almost there. Stop for number 1.
On the rails again, we are now just getting our first few glimpses of the Laos countryside, although it doesn't last long since China's new train cuts the travel time in Laos down to nearly 1/3 from just a few years ago, but with considerable cost in regards to debt in Laos.
Made it unscathed, very uneventful. I mean, for that, good job, China.
It seems that our transit from now on is going to be a mild downgrade, but at least I'll have access to a window this time.
It is very pretty here. It's good to have been in China for so long that it's nice for a change of scenery.
After spending the last year in China, it feels both familiar and I guess a bit odd to be back in Southeast Asia. Although maybe it feels extra familiar since China seems to have funded nearly every piece of infrastructure we've used today so far, even the taxis Chinese.
I'm currently on a search for a motorbike so I can get into the jungle, get into the hills for a little bit before I head off to the capital tomorrow on another train, a more local train, a cheaper train. We've checked 5 different shops and none of them have a motorbike that they'll let me rent. And I'm not going to look at this, it's dreadful. For those who have been to a motorbike heavy country, there's a certain amount of shame to be the tourist who's walking by himself, being passed by everyone. I will not be having it. Could this be my chariot? Only in Southeast Asia can you rent a motorbike from your local juice stand. Okay. Oh, for the lock.
Yeah.
Lock wheel. Okay, easy, no problem.
I wasn't recording what happened next, and I'm not happy to say it, but I pretty much immediately crashed the motorbike. Now guys, don't get things twisted. I lived in Vietnam for a year. I own a nice little Ducati that was my daily driver when I lived in Italy. And I'm very familiar on a bike, and on these crazy roads I usually feel at home. But today, I hit a dust patch or some street vendor's oily dishwater that was tossed onto the road because I whipped a U-turn straight into the ground.
That's a good start to the day, at least. A late start after crashing the motorbike. Already within 5 minutes of getting it. Also, well, the brake lever flew off. Well, half of it did. I'll have to fix that later. I still have it, by the way.
On the bright side, I saw a nice waterfall.
Since I smashed the brake lever, I'm now at a shop to try to fix it. They don't have the part available.
My pride is damaged, but at least I'm making new friends. I got the bike repaired and it's time to go home.
My face is covered in dirt from riding the motorbike all day. The fucking roads are dusty here, terribly dusty. Let's see. But look at the sunset. The sunset bar slash restaurant slash tattoo parlor.
It's actually a barbershop.
And barbershop. What better way to be welcomed into a tropical place? My goal in Laos is to literally just sit on the Mekong, eat food and drink beer. That's it.
Okay, maybe that's not all I'm doing. After all, I do need to get across the country, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to just slowly rot here on a riverbank drinking beer Lao, which, might I add, is the best beer in Southeast Asia.
There's nothing that represents this place better than this wonderful karaoke going on the boat. It's all these kind of karaoke boats going down the Mekong. Now, I expected if I walked down on this dock, I'd have like 20 people harassing me, trying to sell me a ticket. But nobody cares. I'll try another dock.
The sun is setting, and as much as I like the loud sounds of boat motors and karaoke as ambiance, it's time to head into the city, where there's apparently a weekend market of sorts, which, well, it usually means there's a lot of junk, but let's check it out anyways.
One of the local specialty is this coconut sweet rice pancake. Walked all this way just to get this coconut, the coconut cream pancake. The Kunming China. It's the only vendor that I could find for it, and unfortunately it was through this hell market, and the only way back to the motorbike is the way that we came.
Since one dinner surely isn't enough, let's also check out the street food market while we're here. Maybe we can redeem ourselves.
We're supposed to return the bowls. We found an acquisition of them. The soup is quite good though. It has some kind of fermented pork in it, some pork skin, pork fat that's been fermented. It's quite sour, but good.
On my way out of the market, the gas station is closed, which means I'll have to fill up the old-fashioned way.
Alright. Off to the next local spot, the local karaoke bar.
I finished the night eating a river fish and enjoying some local music down some, well, mildly questionable roads before finishing for the night and starting fresh in the morning in my quite outdated hotel.
This is what $25 a night gets you. A nice view of this wall. And it's not a squat toilet. We're told to go to the train station to get tickets for a second leg. And had a hellishly bad time getting train tickets sorted out. Been to the station, turned away, can't buy online. Everyone's trying to rip us off. Ugh. That is okay. I'm gonna go back to another office to try once again. Hello. Change plan. I need a ticket tomorrow.
Tomorrow
To Vientiane.
ticket finished.
Finished?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It was okay. We worked something out.
Finally got the rail ticket. The staff had to book it for herself, and then on our behalf it was a little bit complicated. Checking out some of the local temples of varying age. This one's around 400 years old. And then these are built in the 1800s. You know, the spread of Buddhism from India, countries like Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand are more commonly thought of as Buddhist countries than India even is now. And you know, these kind of monuments are a testament to time and the cross-country trade and exchange of religion throughout early history. You know, it's kind of interesting to see the different depictions of Buddhist art from country to country, you know, in Tibet compared to here. Different kind of intensity. Southeast Asian ones have more gold and are more conservative in some ways. Right outside the temple, they have a little market street. See what kind of things we can find. Want some nuts, chilies. Oh, you want the banana? How much?
Ready?
Somebody. Yeah. We get this one.
Too many bananas.
Just accept it.
Okay.
After getting many more bananas than we could have possibly needed from the market, there's a slightly more serious place that I intend to visit next. I didn't live vlog here because I thought it'd be inappropriate, but no trip to Laos would be complete without acknowledging this. It's a sobering note to leave on, but it's almost time to catch the train. Although there's one more place I'd like to visit before we head further south into Laos.
It's the last meal before moving on. And it's a trend. Went to the Obama restaurant in Hanoi. Now we're at the home of the Obama coconut. This is brilliant. You get to have a nice coconut accompanied with some good food. and the man himself, Barack Obama.
Apparently Obama came here on a state visit, so now it's proudly known as the Obama Coconut Shop. Somehow, this is the third Obama place I've visited in Southeast Asia. First was the restaurant that he met Anthony Bourdain in Vietnam. Second was an Obama club in Cambodia, although I especially have my doubts that he visited that one. And then now here. After enjoying the Obama coconut, I abandoned my wonderful, mildly damaged motorbike for the next train. Time to haul our bags, unnecessary jackets from much colder days in China, and our pipe bomb of Lay's potato chips to the next train.
On to our next leg, heading towards from China to Thailand by train. Switching trains today. We are in a wonderful, taking a limousine to the train station.
Maybe it's the suspension of the Laotian limousine, but the road feels a little worse than it did last time. But I for one appreciate the ambiance. After bouncing around enough to receive a mild cerebral hemorrhage from the vibrations on the road, we made it to the train station.
We've returned to our next leg of our train journey from China to Thailand on the newly opened China Rail.
Apparently we downgraded again. Also I thought so, but once again we are reunited on a very prosperous Chinese train, the one that put Laos in debt, and created a new frontier.
I made it on the train, but a bit of technical difficulty.
This leg of our journey heads to Vientiane, the capital of Laos and a surprising hotspot for French influence and subculture, which I delved into immediately when I arrived this evening. I've once again acquired another motorbike because I want to show you guys some local sights here. So my first stop is to visit the most proudly misappropriated funding project in all of Southeast Asia.
You got nice communist music in the background and a massive display. It's very loud for some reason, but here it is. Now let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about that thing. Maybe I'll tell you in a moment. Wait, the speakers shut up, thank God. That there was meant to be a runway for an airport. US Concrete donated a massive amount, as well as some financial donations to help kind of give Laos the head start it needed for its airport. But for one reason or another, funding or corruption or something, honestly I don't know, instead of building their airport runway, they built this thing. A monument towards communism. Let's see, has all the good elements. It has Buddhism, Lao culture, communism, and American money. Forgot to mention, it's also built in resemblance of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. So everything, truly everything one could need. Communism, Buddhism, Parisian architecture, and US concrete. And a stunning display it is, but I'm gonna move right along.
The next morning, it's our last day to explore Laos before we cross the Thai border. So, for good luck, we're starting our day at the most important Buddhist site in the country, although I seem to have, well, accidentally broken into the complex.
We absolutely are not supposed to be on the motorbike in this grounds area, but some locals have done it. And no one has stopped us, and there's no police. So we get the VIP tour of Laos' most important temple.
Hello.
I don't want to ruin their photo. For such an elaborate place, it's all mostly untouched. There's no one here. No one stopped us from just driving our motorbike into the complex. There's no tickets. But it's interesting. I think I figured out one of the reasons there's not too many people here and you can just drive on through is because it's an active place. It's not a tourist attraction. It's historical, but it's used by the monks at a Buddhist institution.
That's more than enough temple time for one video. I wouldn't want to overstay my welcome either, or put too much gasoline fumes in the air with my shitty motorbike. There's another place in Vientiane that I want to find though. Apparently, one of Laos's most rich, famous men built a mildly sketchy death trap Buddha park, which naturally, well, I'm a little bit interested in.
Well, that's Laos's forbidden hell pumpkin. Don't know what else it is. The Buddha. It's where Buddhists go if they smoke too many cigarettes. Would you enter the mouth of this demon? I don't trust this thing. This is a concrete hellscape made by the wealthy, brilliant man that's decided to collect as many Buddhas as possible. And then do whatever this is. Look at these stairs. There's something slightly sketchy about all of this.
Very sketchy.
This concrete looks like it's barely holding on. If you were a wealthy man from Laos and had nothing better to do with your money, would you make the Buddha caverns? It's almost eerie. Oh my god, look at these stairs going up.
To where? Going up to where?
To whatever this is. The time is now.
Beautiful.
It's so sketchy. The beam. Oh, I have the duck. Ugh. It's so dark. Oh, I don't even fit. I hope there's no spiders. It continues. What an absolutely bizarre place. I feel like if you were to yell in here, it would all collapse. Don't test it. Alright, time to go to hell stairs. I see the light. Peace. Christ. I have to crawl out of this thing. Well, that's that.
After a arduous journey, I finally escaped the seventh circle.
Think this railing is gonna save anyone? I don't think so. This is one of those natural selection challenges that are kind of disappearing from a lot of the developed world. Alright, time to go back into the abyss. Everything is so uneven as well. What if it's like an adult playground but designed to kill you? There it is, the exit. Oh, thank God. Hello. Thank you. It seems like a risk to build a place like that because if someone slips and dies, your very expensive nirvana is gone just like that.
Once again, I'm gonna have to abandon my motorbike, cross a new border, and take a, this time not very pleasant, train across a new country. And I really enjoyed my time in Laos, so I decided to enjoy the sunset the local way, on a dusty riverbed with Southeast Asia's best light beer. Unfortunately, I got stuck in the sand.
This is a good way to start. No beer bottle. There we go.
Oh wow.
Get a glimpse of that sunset.
I think waiting until after sunset to cross the border was probably a bad idea. My scooter certainly believes so. Well, if it was sentient, it would.
Yeah, this is dried up riverbed. Nowhere that a shitty scooter should go. Alright, at the right side. They are a necessity for what comes next. To get up from the riverbed is this road. There we go. Back to civilization.
I'm running late, so let's get to the border before the last train.
Alright, departure. That's it. That's the end. That is the route to Thailand and the end of the journey from China.
Interestingly enough, customs is closed, but apparently I'm not too late to cross the border. I don't know how that works.
The actual premium bus. It has wooden floors. Van life would be all over this. No AC, but how's everything else you need? This is a particularly bumpy bus ride. You can hear that. Sound of metal smashing. Journey mostly complete. China to Thailand.
After checking through immigration, we hop in a pickup truck, seemingly the last taxi at the border and, well, naturally priced that way. The next morning we woke up early, leaving pretty much immediately, since, well, for me, there's not much to do here in this part of Isan in northeastern Thailand. So let's go ahead and see how Thai trains compare to the Chinese ones that we took in Laos.
Well, this is what a rural train station in Thailand looks like. It's quite loud. You have the wife of the king, something historical. Non-Thai station timetable to finish the train journey from China to Bangkok.
It's only going to be, let's see, 8 hours until we get to Bangkok. There's not much to be said about the train. It's slow, hot, and has a, well, slightly different selection of potentially questionable food when compared to the ones in China and Laos. That said, I like the questionable food. I thought it was interesting that there was reserved seats for monks and that the staff office was just a pillow on a chair near the end of the train. As we get closer to Bangkok, there appears to be more and more developmental and infrastructure-based projects, which is a big contrast to the countryside that we came from. Well, I finally reached Bangkok, as well as the end of this journey. Bangkok is a debaucherous place, to say the least, and I won't be showing you guys much of that. But I will say, thank you for watching if you made it this far, and subscribe if you're interested in what's to come. I have some pretty unusual places that I'll be filming in the coming weeks, so I hope to see you next time.
This place is known for rabid dogs.
Okay.
No, like this exact spot.
Really? Okay. Well, that's nice.
Specifically, like at night, the dogs like to hang out in this park, and many of them have breakers.
Okay. Goodbye, Stupa.
Bye bye.